We are going to go from Shiho Gatame right into Juji Gatame. So a lot of people are always like, well, you can't do Juji Gatame from this position or that position. And honestly, you can do it from just about any position you can think of, or at least that's what we found. And in this position, it's actually a lot easier than you think, especially because we approach it from that angle. So as long as you're starting from the angle, it becomes a lot easier, and bringing the hands up on the front quarters of the hips makes it even easier too, because it's...
Why don't you show that, Derek? Show what you're talking about.
So once I'm in here, this is going to make it a lot more difficult. So I come over to the side like we've been practicing, and my hands come up on the front quarters of his hips. So from the back, I don't have a lot of control over the upper part of his arm. I'm wedging him in, which is good for a pin, but not so much good for the juji. So the hands come up on either sides of the belt, not necessarily all the way in front, but front quarters right here. And now I've got below the elbow, so you can see I can move the arm around a little bit. And he's fighting the pin anyways, thinking that I'm just going to sit here and pin him, and that an arm lock is impossible from this angle anyways. So as soon as I'm ready to go, I'm going to switch this way because the camera's over there. I pick the way that I want it to arm lock him. So if I want this arm, I'm going to rotate him this way, and you just kind of shuck him up that way, okay? And you don't have to like, get way out there. You just roll him up on a hip, and a lot of times they're already trying to do it anyways. You keep your head in nice and tight so his arm doesn't get out, and now you've got a nice little loop in between your head and neck and your arm and his belt. And as soon as that comes over there, we're gonna bring the foot forward and sit on the shoulder and neck. And then I've got that arm now, so I let go of the belt, clear it, so I've got the arm, shin comes in right onto the rib area, and really put your weight down on it. I'm not trying to like kill him or anything, but I want to be able to sit on here because he's probably going to be thrashing around. I might have to do that, okay? Hug, back we go, and there you are.
Now, a lot of times what Derek said, guys, Steve will be, the bottom guy, will be fighting. He'll be rocking and rolling backward. And you can kind of gauge which way you want to take him depending on which way he rolls. And just stay with him, just like Derek did. But did you notice also Derek kind of give him a little oomph to go to that direction? Okay, stay that same way. I'll come with you. So can everybody see how... Okay, Derek, you take his...
He's going that way.
Yeah, keep going. Okay.
That way, I roll.
There you go. See that? Also noticed, his feet came into play pretty soon, pretty quick. See that? Step over, Nan. And he didn't kick both legs over, by the way. It was just the one. It's just your standard, the old school Juji Gatame.
You have to give him too much space in order to get that other foot over there. So instead of hopping up and trying to flip my foot over, and then he hitchhikers his way out of it, or he kicks his feet over, there's no real reason to. You know, wait and see if you get it. If you don't have it, and then he starts kicking over again, then you can follow through, but don't immediately try and kick both feet over.
Now watch the movement. And he just catches him. It looks like Steve's giving it to him, but Derek's really kind of steering him in that direction. And once you've done this a while, and we'll drill on it here tonight, you can see how you'll steer him over there, and his shoulder will be up off the mat, and he's basically giving you an arm to lock. Did everybody see that? Okay, let's give that a try. And it really is a good way to finish, like in, say, sambo match or freestyle judo, you know, or the guy's actually in a regular IGF type judo match or a submission grappling. He's got away to some degree, and you can, if he's inched his way out and you've lost control of him in the osaikomi, the time for the pin has stopped, then you can finish right with a submission.
Yep. You really are transitioning into that front shoulder sit. So like Steve said, he might already be getting out, so we just give him a little bit of help. And then now I've caught his face, so he's not going to go full belly down, and I have the arm anyways. So as I transition up here, even if I miss it, I mean, there's other things that we can do to come back down here and start playing with this front shoulder sit position. But it really starts with the juji, and you have to get used to sitting down there and actually attacking that angle. And he'll give you the angle 9 times out of 10, and if he doesn't, it's a real easy little shift. You've got his hips and his shoulders. Super, super easy.
Did everybody see how he shifted right into that bent arm lock, that Juji Gatame too? So, I mean, there are a lot of possibilities there to get that submission.
You know, he starts defending, I shift back down, we go through that.
Yeah, so that's the good plan B if you can't get the, or if you just might want to go that as your plan A. But it's a great backup if the Shiho Gatame to Juji Gatame series doesn't work. North-south position, Shiho Gatame, the upper four corner hole position, is really an ideal one to finish somebody off, you know, from the osekomi to finish a submission. One more time and just show the Juji from there, and then we'll let you guys practice. Okay? All right, let's give that a try.
So a finer point of this, again, is to get used to that shoulder sit position. So we're basically going from a dominant pinning position, Shiho Gatame, the upper four corners pin or north-south pin, and then we're going to more of a transitional position, which is the shoulder sit position. But it's important to sit and not to sit back, okay? The problem is that as I pop through here, if I get my foot in front and then I keep my knee back and I just sit back, okay? Notice how far down the elbow is for my hips. I can finish this. I can readjust my feet, pop in and pull his arm real tight and still get it.
Can you do that again from that same position? I'll get a better angle here.
Then I sort of rotate over this way, that comes in, and then I just sit back. And yeah, my knees will pop in, but I have no leverage with my shin anymore. And it's real easy for him to hitchhiker his way out of this. And there he goes.
See, and that's kind of the lazy way of getting it. A lot of people think that's a fast, quicker way. It just lets him off the hook if you just shift it underneath that. So watch how he does a shoulder sit position now.
Okay, so we rotate him over this way. I'm going to jam my knee underneath his scapula, the shoulder blade. And then I put my weight down on that shoulder. So now his shoulder's pinned between my chest and my thigh. And I'm not going to stay there, but that's enough for me to get my foot up and then to swing it back a little bit so I'm kind of sitting on his neck and shoulder. So I'm transitioning my sit up. Because if I start losing his arm over here, I can put my knee down and start fighting for the bent arm lock. So we're allowing ourselves options as we're slowly crawling our attacking position up, and it's a lot easier to get the sit when you do it in pieces. If it's one big explosive move, then it's great if you're big and explosive. Make sense? All right, so that foot comes back, I've got a hold of it. Now the knee that's underneath them, just pop that up, okay? And then just kind of squatting and sitting on the shoulder. If you're like, Derek, I can't do that. Lean on and sit on, okay? Every one of you can do this. And I'm certain that every one of you can go like this, okay? But you'd be surprised if you're sitting on the guy's shoulder how easy this is. And then the other thing is, remember, his arm is like a rope. Okay, if I start falling one way or another, if I've got a good hold of this, look what just happened, he came with me, okay? So we're through here, rotate him over, jam the knee in place so he can't roll back and get out of this. It also makes it a lot easier because his shoulder's up to finish. Step my foot over and collect the head, okay? Ready to go, pop that knee up, hug, and then we sit back.
See the angle he's sitting back to, kind of a 45-degree angle?
Right.
That's important because that really hurts the shoulder too, and it's very weak at that angle.
When Steve was first teaching the arm locks, I mean, you've all heard this too, but he said it a lot when I was coming up. We bench press like this. You know, we don't bench press like that, right?
Steve doesn't seem to bench press too well anyway.
That's okay, he's got swimmer strength.
That's right.
So if I finish back this way, he has a lot less range of motion. So it's always better to apply the submission where he has less range of motion because it makes it easier, okay? Good?
One other point, show him how you trap the head with your knee, like a, like a nutcracker, basically.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to do that one on this side and then on that side so
okay.
you can see it. So the idea is I'm not just putting it over his head. So I rock him, jam the knee in there, step over the head. Now if I keep my foot just flat right there in front of his face, he keeps turning, he turns over. And sure, I can attack all kinds of other things from here, but that's not the point. I was trying to arm lock him. So don't let him do that. And the way we don't let him do that is as my foot comes over, okay, still got a hold of his belt, the foot comes over and then you slide it back and then you sit on it. So you kind of see how what I was saying earlier about like transitional like sit position. I start by kind of sitting down on the shoulder when I jam the knee through. bring my foot up and I slide it back and then I sit on his head and his shoulder. And then now if he wants to try and sit that way, okay, he keeps turning, if he manages to do it.
So if he did manage to turn the head and roll, Derek could follow him over with a nice rolling Juji Gatame. But he doesn't want to do that. Derek's going to trap his head and roll him back in this case.
Yep. Shift, jam the knee in there, step over, slide it back to collect the head.
Can everybody see how he's just trapping his head with his heel and his whole leg, and he's sitting on Steve's poor head, really, at this point. Okay.
Okay.
That's a trap.
Pop that hip up. Again, if you're having trouble popping the hip up, post your hand, and then just drive that knee up. Now I'm really sitting on him, and I can sit back for the Juji really easy.
So everybody, there are a lot of small points, and if you do this repeatedly enough the correct way, they'll become second nature to you.
You'll pick it up.
You'll pick it up. And so there are a lot of small points that make, just like a car, has a lot of small parts of the engine, but the engine runs smoothly if you put it together right. And if you put this together right, it'll run smoothly.
It's engineered and systematic. So the way that we're showing it is so that there are those stops along the way for you to do things. He flips over. You're able to roll him over into the head or the hip roll Juji. His arm cuts down in front while before you even sit back. You can go to the bent arm lock. So there's little pieces along the way that are made to control as you're going, so that opens up little spots to do other submissions from there if you mess up. It's also engineered or systematic enough so that if he has a certain way of getting out of it, that's only one of like 2 or 3 that are going to be in that particular step, right? There's only so many ways to get out of a north-south pen. There's only so many different ways of getting out of a Juji Gatame. People invent them all the time, but that doesn't mean everybody knows them. So it's like 2 or 3 very common ways of doing it. So you close off those avenues knowing that they're coming, and he can't do it anymore. It's like a measure twice, cut once sort of situation. Make sure you've got the control you need, and if he's just faster or better than you at that one step, you've got something waiting for him. Make sense?
Just one more time, and then we'll finish up. So everybody here's the last thing to key off on this, and then I'll let you practice. There you go. Okay, let's give it a go.